All right. And here we are. We're live with number 4 of the 2020 Newton Piano Summit concerts. And I can't think of a better guest to have than Alexei Tsiganov, who started this whole shebang, 5 years ago in our little library in Waben. And just a whole cavalcade of wonderful talent just grew into this program we've been doing. Last year, we had to move to a larger venue, to the United Parish of Auburndale, and then of course here we are. We were all set to do it again. I mean, literally all set to do it again, and boom, the Corona bomb went off, and everything got canceled. And but we prevailed. Here we are online, and we're actually reaching perhaps more people than we did with the concerts. It's certainly a wonderful chance for people to check in and chat with you, Alexi. And again, if you want to find out more about any of the artists that have performed, that are performing, and get their website, get their long bios, and get some of the videos from previous performances, it's all here at newtonpianosummit.org. And I would like to also mention that we have some wonderful sponsors like the Village Bank, Advance Auto, Honda Village, the Robeson Foundation, the Newton Cultural Council, and the Massachusetts Cultural Council, and donors like you, as they say in this public medium, because we have been getting donations, and that's great. I mean, that's a real vote of confidence. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to get right out of the way here. And Alexi, all I can say is thank you once again for sharing your talents with us and returning to the Newton Piano Summit. So with that, take it away, Maestro.
Thank you. Great to be here. Hello, everybody. And looking forward to playing for you. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, that was beautiful. That
Thank
was very nice. Oh, wow. I can hear the crowd cheering outside. Oh,
Well,
my gosh.
I feel very interesting. I never played before online, so I feel very unusual.
Ah, so this is that's great. We're glad to share your first moment here.
Thank you.
And I mean, I know you've been teaching, right?
Right,
So you do that a lot, and
right.
but it's nice to get you online here and share your prowess. Um, your name came up very early when I moved to this region from San Francisco and Detroit and New York. It's like who are the cats, so to speak, and
Mhm.
your name came up right away. And it's fun listening to you in this setting because I love how you mix genres quite a bit. I think if somebody were listening to you, they would say, "Oh, this is somebody. There's probably a little bit of classical background in there with the finesse and then there's Latin influences and all these things.
Right.
So it's you're the perfect jazz musician because you mix everything and there are no more genres. It's not just jazz. So it's fun to hear those things come out in your playing. So I'm going to get out of the way. And what are you going to play next?
I'm going to play next, according to my list, the tune called Continuity.
Okay, great. Take it away.
Basically, dedication to all my favorite pianists. So starting from, I don't know, Bach would be totally fine. Continuing with Rachmaninoff maybe, Bill Evans, and to contemporary people, definitely Chico Freeman, Fitzgerald, Herbie Hancock, all these guys, and my own older brother, who's a great pianist. So it's continuity. I'm trying to continue the piano tradition as much as I can.
Oh, that was really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love your compositions. I mean, yeah, I know that's very important. Actually, I was going to ask you, who are some of your biggest influences?
Wow, so many, so hard to say.
Of course, of course.
Of course, it's like this particular is continuity, so it's dedication to all the pianists. Probably a lot of pianists are the influence, starting from Bach and all classical music, of course. Probably, I don't know, as everybody, Chopin, Rachmaninoff, Scriabin, Debussy, Ravel for sure. Uh, Probably jazz, I would say. I mean, it's impossible to go without Bill Evans. He's one of the fathers of um, contemporary jazz piano playing, but definitely Chicory, Herbie Hancock, Keith Jarrett, it's no question. I love tremendously Kenny Kirkland.
Oh yeah, Kenny Kirkland.
Yep.
Yeah.
My brother is a huge influence on me when I was younger, especially. Misha Tsiganov, great pianist in New York. And
Ah.
I just actually met not long time ago and just played for the first time because I'm also a vibes player. So I played on one project as a guest with amazing pianist who is also a big influence on me for many years, David
Who?
Kikotsky.
Oh, David Kukoski.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're going to get him on this show.
Phil-
He's a great. He
that would be
did a.
great.
I first heard him on a recording with Ralph Moore,
Uh huh.
one of my favorite saxophone players
Sure.
around today, and just a killer. I think he was with Art Blakey. He might have been in that group, but I could be wrong. Anyways, what
Okay.
else you got cooked up for us, Alexei?
By the way, I want to say big thanks to Newton Piano Summit and particularly Chris. He's the
Oh,
best. Just in case if some of you don't know, besides being great guy and great organizer, he's an awesome saxophone player. Okay,
ah.
he's a hidden treasure of now Boston. So what do I have? Let me see. I'll try to play jazz standard just in case some of the people heard too much of original, and I have
Ah.
more for you guys.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I my let me get this back. Ah, my interface is there. It is okay. Woo, that's so beautiful. I was going to ask you. You know, you do something that just before you play, you're sort of taking a little second there, and it's like you're getting into the zone. You know, is that a correct and apt description of what you're doing?
Uh, sure. I'll be honest with you and the audience, of course. That today I'm much more composer than a pianist, believe it or not, because mostly of what I'm doing is trio and five-piece setting. So I don't play too many concerts as a piano, solo piano.
Huh.
So it's very interesting format for me. I used to have a day job solo piano, but that was long time ago, and that was gigs, not concerts.
Ah.
So more like this type of thing,
Uh-huh.
that type of thing. So now for me as a composer and pianist, I'm used to trio, five-piece band format. So I had to rethink some of my music, and very interesting for me. Some of my music very challenging to make it solo piano.
Oh.
Hey,
So it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity
exactly,
to
exactly,
rethink. Yeah, yeah.
exactly right.
I understand. It's well, I've been hearing that a lot actually from people. So in this
Of course,
current condition we're in, there's a lot of introspective kind of thought and a
of course.
chance to reevaluate some things, revisit them things. Have you been doing that? Revisiting some older compositions, maybe, or
Absolutely yes,
ah,
absolutely yes. And it's very interesting how one thinks of like standards of his own music for that matter. So I had a couple times in my life when I had to rethink a lot of my thoughts from being vibes player and playing in five-piece band. I started playing a lot of piano trio, and some of my music couldn't fit because too
hmm.
many parts, and you have to like combine. Unless I had to play fugue and play three voices by myself, but then bass player would have to play harmony, all the chords. So it's very interesting. Sometimes it's very challenging, and it's great. I think it's great for musicians.
Ah. Well, what else you got cooked up for us?
Okay, so I have a tune that called C minor Prelude.
Ah.
C minor Prelude, and it was recorded on CD of my lovely wife Yoko Kawata, who is a wonderful singer. Unfortunately, CD is not out yet because it has to be mixed, and we just recorded it right before all of this started. So uh, I'll try to make an attempt of playing it on piano because on recording the pianist is David Kikoski. It's very challenging. So I'm glad you're going to hear me playing it first. Okay,
All right.
you'll be able to hear it by David.
Nice. All right. You just finished teaching, right? For the semester?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're pretty busy. I understand that.
Teaching at New England Conservatory. Exactly right.
Yeah. Wow. Are your students teaching you anything?
For sure. No doubt. I have some amazing students, some very talented, some adults, and a lot of teenagers. And a lot of teenagers are going to study in New York, Boston, all around,
Oh, nice.
all the schools. Some of them are already in Berkeley. I'm so sorry for all kids, especially who have to go in September. If their school's going to be online, it will be a challenge.
Ah.
But I want to encourage everybody: uh, do not go down, go up. Take it as an
After all, you can
opportunity.
keep practicing, right?
Exactly.
Just keep practicing. Yeah. So
Every
actually, I was going to ask you because so obviously you started your life in Russia
Mhm.
and you went to a conservatory there and
Music
stu-
college, right?
studied music there and
Yep.
a very strong background there.
Yep.
How old were you when you got to the United States?
19.
You're 19, and you
It was just 2 years ago. Okay, guys. Don't I look 21? Oops.
of course.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
The camera puts 20 years on us, so it's like
You have a special button, right? 20 years up or down. Please make
uptown.
sure,
Yeah.
Chris, you put down,
Oh
okay?
my goodness gracious. That's so funny. It's like, but that was really pretty. That's nice. That again, you hear a mixture of influences for that kind of
All right.
thing. Actually, I was just thinking um, when we first started this Newton Piano Summit, which was born out of the Nine Artful Pianos, and we had one in Waban, and I was able to videotape you and John Lockwood actually playing together,
Right.
and you played some original music there, and it's funny because I remember at the time we were rained out every weekend. We were supposed to play outside with that piano, and it just
Right.
kept raining. In May, 2 out of 3 weekends were rained out, so we just after a while just said okay. We did get to do a few outside, but it was just a very beautiful kind of thing that happened, and a few of us got to enjoy it. Now I see more of us can enjoy this. It's maybe not the same, but again, I invite people to check out the website to see other videos that you've done. And I've had a riot doing these things. Actually, I probably put way too much time into doing them, but um, it's just all art. So, anyways, I
Right.
will let you. What else you got cooked up for us?
Cool. Let me see. I'm going to play a song called Joy. Just in case, guys, it's not this one, okay? Did not write this one, okay? Just in case. Different type of joy.
That's a beautiful piece. I think you played. I made a video of that as one of your things. I was trying to actually roll that in if I could get a little piece of that. Let me just see if I can do that right quick. I had a little segment of some of the videos that you'd done earlier.
Oh, cool.
Uh,
With John.
yeah, let me just see if I can get a
Cool.
little piece of that up here.
Okay.
I
Much
tried
easier to
to.
play with amazing bass player like John Oakwood.
Yeah, I mean he's just he's been our house bass player, I guess.
Right. He's the best.
Yeah, I guess he's very popular. He was at the last. Okay, here it is. Let me see if I can do this. I'm not sure if it'll work, but maybe just. Uh, it says it'll play, but anyways, I don't want to waste too much time waiting for it to
No
do
worries.
its little turn around and turn around. Um, yeah, it's too large, I
Since
guess. Let
you,
me.
Chris, while you're looking, and since you mentioned students, I also wanted to share something quickly. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to talk much about the different approaches or anything. Just want to say a lot of wonderful musicians, professional and non-professional, right now have time to practice. So a lot of them will start playing more, or already started playing more. And I just want to share something that I learned on one like small festival. There was a small festival called Accordion Cape Cod Festival. I was part of it a few years back. Long story short, there was a speaking person who was a musician but also a surgeon.
Oh, say that again.
He was a surgeon
Oh, surgeon.
besides being a musician. So he addressed all musicians, and I'm passing this message to everybody I know and everybody I don't know. So he mentioned that most of musicians' problems that we practice too much without warming up our muscles. And he
Oh,
said that usually when you look at somebody who's going to run for 2 or 3 hours straight, they always do stretches a lot before, even if they run for half an hour. And sometimes musicians, he mentioned, sometimes musicians go and play 4 hours straight and don't do any stretches. Whatever stretches doesn't matter, whatever people do, they need to
interesting.
do. So I just want to pass along to especially people, young people, and not young
Yeah.
people, everybody young up to 200 years old. Okay? So before practicing, we all should stretch a little bit.
Oh,
Enough.
that's a very good advice. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think that also ties in with getting ready to play and getting into that space where you
Right.
really are connecting with the music. Um,
Yeah.
I had something else I was going to ask you, but
Yeah.
maybe after the next song.
Sure.
I've lost my train of thought.
Speaking of,
Okay, so now you get punchlines. Like I stole his thunder. That's the name of his next tune, right?
that was a good one. Wow.
uh, is this so train of thought being like Coltrane of thought, Trane, right? And
Yeah.
I was just thinking because the master musician, incredible artist and composer McCoy Tyner just left us a little while ago, and of course he was Coltrane's pianist for long time, and
Right.
especially in that formative quartet with Elvin Jones and Jimmy Garrison, and they left so much wonderful music
Right.
there. But McCoy Tyner, in some ways, I think of him as the one of the architects of the cubist type of compositions. Where there were like blocks of color, and then that block would move down another, down a step for another 8 bars, and it would come back, and so very this kind of composition that evolved in jazz over the 60s and 70s became, much more, how you say, a little open and yet colors that would move around in blocks and things. And I call that cubist. I don't know what other people call it, but hey, um,
He was a phenomenon and also huge
yeah.
influence on all pianists around the world.
All right. Well, with that, let's get to Train of Thought. Nice. Oh, I like that. That was
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Wow. When
Had
did
to
you
go
come up
again.
with that? When did you come up with that one?
Oh, long time ago, boy. Original sketch probably almost 30 years ago.
Ah.
Yeah.
Are you writing more right now?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. More
Yes.
now than before, you think?
Are you talking about the isolation mode?
Yeah.
I want to say probably not as much lately, just because I was so overwhelmed. To be honest, I was so overwhelmed with teaching online, and for some of us, it was very easy. People who are very good with technology and computers. Some of us not as good with technology, but now I'm okay. I had to learn, so I'm really thankful for the opportunity.
Ah.
So I had to learn some technology, so it's good. Now I have more time actually after semester finished. I have much more time to do composition.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So I just want to take a moment here because
Hmm.
uh, with these jazz monsters that are coming on next week, we're changing gears yet again, and we're going to be inviting one of the most feared guitarists in the world, I'd say. I met Bruce back in San Francisco, his home base, and let's just we're gonna sneak him on. There he is.
Whoa, that was fast.
Hey,
I'm
Bruce.
early. I
Uh,
guess you could say I'm rushing.
ah, 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 ah. Yeah. I mean, back then, there was a club called Jazz at Pearls in San Francisco. They had jazz 7 nights, and we were all blessed to be part of that. And I had a big band that played every Monday night. But and Bruce, you would play there from time to time. And I am not kidding when I say, you seem like a very affable, nice guy and stuff, but your prowess is kind of Alexei. You guys are such nice guys, but I'm telling you, on the bandstand, you don't want to fool around with these folks, man. They're very dangerous players, and your thing, Bruce, is so funny because it's like old cowboy kind of thing, and you're thinking like country music or hoedown and stuff like that. Do not fool around with this guy in the bandstand. He'll eat you alive. So, but nice guy. So, next week Bruce will be joining us, or you'll be the show actually, and maybe Alexi and some of the other might pop in and say hi. But
Oh, Alexei,
Hi, Bruce. How are you doing?
good to see you. Great to hear you, man.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope we'll play one day together.
That would be great.
Yeah.
yeah, you come to the Boston area, Bruce, if we can pry you away from the West Coast for a minute. But you travel a lot. You've been touring, haven't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
traveled quite a bit, of course, until about 2 months ago, and then I think I've driven like 40 miles in my car since then. You know.
Ah, yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
So, wow. It's interesting to hear how people are coping with this whole thing, but it's made a transformation for a lot of people. It really like your thing, Bruce. Is I see you now being online much more with you've taken your show online, so to speak, and that's taken off, right? You
Yeah, it's like I mean, I was always kind of a proponent of live and community. I mean, I still am. I mean, that's where the music is, and yet, and so I always used like the online to promote whatever was offline. And then as soon as this happened, it was like, whoa, I better get online and catch up with everybody else. So I'm doing, stuff on Instagram, and I've got that little TV show twice a week, and it's my only gig.
Exactly.
right, right, right. Um, what was the last? What was your last recording you did?
The last one that came out would be one I did called Junkyard Duos, where I have this band where I play a resonator guitar, which sounds very kind of trashy and old timey, and I got a drummer to play only reclaimed objects for percussion.
Hmm.
So it's like two guys in the junkyard, no real fancy equipment, but then we just played, and of course we still drew from like all the bebop and straight ahead jazz and big band swing, and roots music, and we just mixed it all together and just kind of played with a whole new sonic palette, basically, like a junkyard palette.
Oh, that's really interesting. Oh my gosh, I have not heard that.
Yeah, and every track is a minute or less, so we could put it on Instagram, and we could open source it. So if anybody wanted to take a track and make a video for Instagram, they could do that. That was the plan.
ah,
Not too many
interesting.
people did it, but
They didn't
it's
do
a
it.
good idea.
Well, so that's the evolution here, right? We're dealing
But
with new things and
this is
new
what
kinds of.
this is what we do, right? I mean, we're supposed to improvise, which is basically make up with what you got, and the things that you have to work with. And, to me, I've always taken that very seriously, and the guys who mentored me were very adamant about that being the process of this music. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, we look very forward to seeing you next Saturday.
yeah,
It's 4 o'clock Eastern time, and what is it? 7 o'clock Western time,
1 o'clock.
and well, one, yeah, other way, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And Alexei, thank you for letting me barge in on your show, man. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Why don't you do it to me next week?
Great meeting you. Absolutely.
All right, man. You guys keep swinging, huh?
all right, thank you, Bruce.
All
All
right.
right,
Take
all right.
care. I'm going to keep watching, but you can get rid of my picture.
Well, Alexei, we're gonna turn it over to you,
Cool.
and away we go.
So cool. So next tune, I'm going to play another dedication actually. So this tune called Irina's Dream, and this is dedication to my mom. Her name is Irina, and she liked that tune, so that's for her. And also because we're not going to say age, but she's not as young as she looks. And I want to dedicate this to, of course, her originally, but also to everybody who is of certain age, especially this time right now. Uh, Thank you for staying home. A lot of you guys on after certain age, and we all worried about you, all our family members, friends who are older, a little bit. And stay safe and stay healthy, and hopefully we'll be out of this interesting time very soon into much more interesting time. Thank you. I don't have sound. I don't know if Chris is saying something. Hello, hello.
Sorry, I didn't have my microphone on. That's terrible. I turned it off there for a second.
No problem at all.
But I see Bruce back there. He's smiling. He liked it. So
Oh, I'm glad.
yeah, he must be doing something right.
And that's one of those cases. This tune, Irina's Dream, is basically the tune I usually play either in 5-piece band or trio. So I never played it in my life as a solo piano piece.
Oh,
But I don't want to deprive some of my audience who used to come to my concerts and hopefully will continue. And some of them really like this tune. So, and I wanted to play it, and I wanted to play it for my mom as well. So here we go.
yeah, yeah. What are you working on lately?
Oh boy, so many things.
Well, you've been playing vibes, of course. They haven't seen that. Actually, we were going to have a big fun at this last concert because we were going to have you and Warren Wolf on the same stage, and you
Right.
both play piano and vibes, and it was just going to be really something special. And unfortunately, the bomb went off, and we didn't get that. So you got to play
Next year, no problem.
next year. That's a good idea. So
Warren is great. It's so many instruments.
yeah, it's like one of those guys plays all the instruments. But
Right.
so let's see, what else did we cover? We have what haven't you played?
Oh, I haven't played so many songs. I have
I
about
know that's true.
200 more songs for you guys. So just in case, I'll start with the third 100. Okay.
All right, let's see. But you haven't. So you played a ballad for us. You did. Joy. You played something of all kinds of things. I'm just thinking like I would be thinking on the bandstand. What else you didn't do? But anyways, well, I'll let you give us something. Maybe this is your parting gift to us.
Sure. That's we have one more, two more.
Yeah, well, it's up more. You can do 2 more. You can do 10 more. I don't. We don't care. We're not going anywhere.
I'm free until about 7, so no problem.
Okay, great. You got it, Alexei. You're in command.
So I'm going to play a tune that so far has no title. So far it has A flat major. Okay. So if any of the listeners have some ideas, I would love to hear some ideas of the names. It's very hard sometimes for musicians to title our music. That's the reason why a lot of classical composers wrote sonata number, blah blah blah, right? Or prelude number, just because like everything we wanted to say, we already saying in music. So if some of you like poetic and have some ideas, please write. Okay. Everything is accepted besides G sharp major. Okay. So far flat major.
Nice. Wow. Got some different stuff going on in there. I
Hmm.
see. Yeah. Well, it's I've known you always great composing. So
Thank
that's
you so much.
nobody suggested a name for that. So we'll see. Most people watch these broadcasts after they've been broadcast.
Oh, cool.
So I mean, we had like 30 people watching one broadcast, and then within an hour there was 1,000 people had seen it. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's okay. We're fine. But and we wanted to tell people, go ahead and write the comment the in the comments. That'll maybe we'll get a good name for that tune. So
That's nice.
yeah, what else you got for us?
Cool. So I'm going to play. Hmm. I'm going to play another nameless tune. Okay.
Ah,
So anybody who has thoughts, very welcome.
Oh, yeah. Bravo. Ah, so pretty. I'm like the way you ended up. You ended on the question mark
Of
instead of
course.
the resolution. It's perfect. Yeah. Oh, Alexei. Well, it's so good to hear you writing and creating new music and
Thank you so much.
not dropping a single beat. I love it. You're master musicians. Wonderful.
Thank you so much,
So
Chris.
thank you for taking your time with us and gracing us with your talent and your passion and your love. And keep on hitting. We'll see you again soon. I know you've been coming a lot to the Newton area as we do things live. I'm glad I had a little hand in some of that, but you're well known within the area, and so it's just great to share that more with a wider audience now. And so, with that, au revoir, mon ami, arrivederci, and
Thank
we'll
you so
say
much.
goodbye to everybody. And
Thank you, everybody.
oh, I have one more comment. Let's see. Was that? Oh, here we go. I don't know if you can see that, but your wife chimes in. I didn't know she speaks Russian. Oh my gosh.
She does a little bit, actually.
She does. All right. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Chris.